Every one of us has an inner desire to be accepted by our peers. We want to be friends with everyone we meet, have limitless confidence, and trust our secrets to anyone we call our friends. We're reminding ourselves that we're funny, charming, and a number of other positive traits that inspire friendship. Having a strong first impression is crucial when it comes to job interviews, first dates, or important meetings with your boss, so it's very important to know whether any of your activity is drawing people in or putting them off entirely. And for some reason, you can't help but feel frustrated that some people don't like you. In the next few minutes you will hear 10 bad habits to avoid in order to make you more likable. Any of them will allow you to feel more confident when you meet new people and strengthen each and every one of your current friendships. Being a pessimist. The pessimistic person is someone who only sees the negative thing about the situation. They have a hard time accepting things are going to work out. They are a glass half empty and not glass half full type of person. Many pessimistic people claim that they protect themselves by constantly anticipating the worst. They feel that if they expect the worst from the start, they won't be let down if it happens. And that's the way they're spending their lives. If you can relate with the feelings of a pessimistic person, you're undoubtedly saying that it's easier to be pleasantly shocked rather than constantly let down. However, being pessimistic can be really hurtful to various aspects of your life, such as friendships, as an example, and we believe you don't want to happen, so avoid being pessimistic. Always showing up late. Who doesn't hate the habit of showing up late to an event? For example, you might agree to meet a friend at 8 p.m. for dinner. But when you arrive, they send a text saying that they're just leaving their house, and they're going to be there in like 30 minutes. Of course, there are circumstances where it is understandable to be late. But if this occurs on a daily basis, people will tend to dislike you because of the inability to stick to a schedule. So if you're the type of person who finds it difficult to meet at the designated time, try to improve your habits, and the quality of your friendships will significantly improve. Hiding your emotions. By hiding your emotions, you're avoiding a direct connection with the people in your life. This lack of communication makes it impossible to resolve the conflict. If you can't work through problems, they're just going to keep happening. You could eventually become angry and unhappy, and these feelings could cause a confrontation you tried to avoid. You might also start avoiding people who cause those feelings, potentially destroying relationships that you value. Emotional suppression can become such a habit that it starts to happen automatically, so you might even find that you tend to lose touch with your own emotions. If you have this habit, you will surely want to change it. You are a living person who have feelings, and it is perfectly fine to express them when it is needed, so don't fear to do it. Your true friends will remain in your life no matter what, so the next time you try to hide them, just express them. Manipulative. Manipulative people have mastered the art of lying. They may seem respectable and genuine, but often it's just a facade. It's a way to pull you in and ensnare you in a relationship before they reveal their true colors. Manipulative people are not really interested in you except as a vehicle to encourage them to gain power so that you become a passive participant in their plans. They have a variety of ways to do this, which all of you may know. They sometimes take what you say and do and twist it so that what you have said and done is hardly identifiable to you. They're going to try to confuse you, maybe even make you feel like you're insane. They misrepresent the facts, and they might have recourse to deception if it suits their intent. They can also be highly violent and vicious, resorting to personal abuse and criticism, dogged in their search of what they desire. They're lying and threatening, and they're not going to let up or let go until they wear you down. Complaining. We all know at least one constant complainer, someone who genuinely believes the world is out to get them and feels the need to express every disappointment in their life. After spending some time with a chronic complainer, you obviously feel like you're complaining, and understandably so, about that guy, but you might be afraid to do so out of fear that you'd put someone else through what made you suffer. In fact, constant complainers may not even realize why they complain so much or have a reputation for incessant negativity. You don't want to be that kind of person, right? We're going to give you one tip. Find things to be grateful for, instead of wishing for things to be different. And when you can cultivate gratitude in your daily life, you'll find that people will behave more kindly every time they're around you. Refusing to admit mistakes. We all know that honesty is a crucial component every time we meet new friends. But for whatever reason, we prefer not to adhere to the same expectations that we set for other people. Being straightforward allows other people to see you as trustworthy and reliable. After all, you want to have traits gain the respect of others. But refusing to admit your mistakes can force people away, as though you were powerless to keep yourself accountable or be honest in any particular scenario. So, although pointing out the truth may potentially lead to some occasional arguments, people will always appreciate you because of your honesty. Weak handshake. A handshake is perhaps one of the oldest forms of introductory communication, dating back thousands of years. Handshakes say a lot of the kind of person you are, and how you feel about the situation you're in when you do so. When you're going to have a handshake with someone and feel like their hand is non-existent, how does it make you feel? A weak handshake, according to numerous scientists, exemplifies a lack of interest. A good handshake entails the initiator's palm touching the receiver's palm, with their thumb wrapped around the other's thumb, says Dr. Glass. Connecting through touch sends the message of friend over foe. You want to make sure your grasp is firm, but not too firm, and definitely not too light. Always maintain eye contact, but ensure you have a soft, warm gaze. Any intense glare is to be avoided. Whether it's a stranger or a professional, people are sensitive toward your gestures, and will likely form immediate judgments from your handshake that set the tone of your circumstances. Interrupting others. Everyone had the experience of being interrupted at one time or another. You may even be guilty of that on yourself. Although the occasional interruption while you're talking might be irritating, it probably doesn't really faze you into the grand scheme of things. But if you're living with a pathological interrupter, that's a different story. Constant interruptions can start to cause chaos on your relationship, especially if you feel like you never finish your thoughts. It isn't easy to deal with that type of person, but if you are at the other side, if you are the one that constantly interrupts, then better listen to the next advice. Give others, especially quieter people, a chance. It's especially poor form when you barge in with yet another fascinating fact about yourself. All roads shouldn't lead back to you. Attention seeking. The term attention seeking generally refers to unwanted and demanding behaviors. Behaviors that are labeled attention seeking include being clingy, calling out in class, doing this so other adults and kids will laugh, and even self-harm. This is hugely common in a crazy busy world. Are you someone who can't keep their mind on the job? Or the person you're talking to? Or anything much? You may get a lot done, but you're still sending out a simple message to someone that they're worth less than something you just scrolled up on your phone. You may call it anxiety or a concentration problem, but you would be seen as superficial, disinterested, and dismissive. Is that just what you want? Always have to be right. You know the person who always needs to be the expert, no matter what the topic or the circumstance. Your relationship with people who always insist on being right will prove difficult, particularly when you have no relief from having to deal with them. You may have a relative who's continually asserting his point of view, even though you know he's incorrect. He can either want to place his claims on you or tell you in front of everyone else how you can live your life. People who find they ought to display their knowledge through topics and circumstances may well be high on the quality of grandiose narcissism, wanting to look superior to everyone else in a way that is self-aggrandizing by means of the power they pretend to possess. People who are particularly susceptible to narcissism, on the other hand, have an extremely poor self-esteem and must engage in a range of protective tactics to shield this vulnerability from being perceived by others. Did someone pop into your head as you listened these toxic personality traits? If you have someone in your life whom you dread seeing, who doesn't respect your opinions, or who makes you feel bad about yourself in any way, then you need to just say no. You deserve to have wonderful, supportive, and loving people in your life. In fact, life is too short to spend time with people who don't help you be your best self. You can share with us in the comments section below which one of the 10 toxic traits you hate the most and why. If you enjoyed this video, give it thumbs up and share it with your friends. That means a lot to us, and this way you are helping the channel to grow. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click the notification bell. You can check our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.